Peace and Black Power. It's my absolute pleasure to be here with both of the brothers, the red and the blue pill. How y'all brothers doing?
Chilling, brother, man.
Well.
All is well. Yes, sir. Blessed to be here.
Seems like Ebola seems to be the topic of the day.
Yeah, that seems to be, grabbing people's consciousness. It's in the headlines, and there's a relentless campaign taking place in media, and I think that that's the point of it all. If no other time, we're getting an opportunity metaphysically to see how a lot of principles that our elders have been teaching us about actually work. You know what I'm saying? As a man thinketh, so shall it be. Like, this brother is not exposed to it. You know what I mean? He don't turn the TV on. He's not reading the newspaper. He's been in his home world, so he doesn't have the same response now. Whereas with me, I read the newspaper. I was exposed to a few of the news programs talking about it. So I got a glimpse of the hysteria associated with it because the media had me feeling like I'm supposed to be concerned. You feel me? Even though I know better. So I have to take the perspective of if it was able to cling on to me like that, you know what I'm saying? And I know where the remix is coming from. Imagine the common folk who have no idea. They have trust in the system, right? These are the same people that have voted for Obama. These are the same people that are waiting on their check next week. These are the same people that are gonna vote for the midterm elections. These are the same people that get emotional that niggas is hopping the White House gate and making it across the lawn. So these are the same people that feel like their country is protecting them from ISIS, whether they say it or not. Okay? Because these are the same niggas that when July the 4th come around, they secretly be on their Columbus Day. You know what I'm saying? So these are the same people that's gonna be on this block come the holidays, whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, or whatever. So these are the same people, theoretically, that are invested into security, not only for this country, for this nation, but for themselves. These are the same people that quietly, even though they seen what they seen in Ferguson, in the back of their mind, they like, Mike Brown had to do something wrong.
If it took this long, they must have something.
They must have something on them. You know what I mean? These are the same people that are susceptible to this programming because there's nothing more successful than the level of programming that we are exposed to in this country. The shit is effective. You feel me? The shit is effective, even to the point where like you be around revolutionaries and shit, you know what I'm saying? And they run home, they be like, yo, I gotta go home, I gotta see Sons of Anarchy. Like, come on, B. That's programming. You know what I'm saying? The people that you have emotional attachments to that are not real individuals, that are entertainment figures, you feel me? That shit has seeped into our blood. Whether it's literal or whether it's virtual. Our virtual bloodstreams contains these levels of parasitical invasion. And people have these attachments. So when the talking head with Anderson Cooper say, yo, and what's his name? Gukma, whatever that nigga name from CNN. Sandra Gukma, whatever the hell they name, whatever the fuck their name is. Lord forbid if Dr. Oz said,
oh Lord, that's the word of God.
You know what I'm saying?
For these niggas.
Yeah, and if Oprah said it's a rap. You know what I'm saying? So these are the people quietly and subconsciously that people depend on for their information. It's been this way for a long time. It's not going to necessarily change today because we're telling them, look, America got a patent on Ebola and the vaccine. They can't put one and two together because quietly, psychologically, they are invested into the security of this country. This is their land. This is what they call home.
Modified.
This is the shit that they hold up every single day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real.
And it seems as if their alter ego, right? Their alter ego is anti-establishment, or their alter ego is, fuck the man. Like, these niggas that walk around here all day, when they buy the Gap, Niggas got their pants all the way down to their ankles, they knuckle dragging, but when they see the red, black, and green flag flying, they pull them shits up, black power, like they switch into their alter ego self, and then they go, you know, knuckle dragging down the block and do whatever else. So they play their position and they play their role based on the atmosphere that they're in.
Based on the mirror.
Based on the mirror. So they put on all of these different masks to portray themselves in certain different you know, personifications in different venues. So that's almost the majority of the public. After work, black power, you know what I'm saying? Power to the people, la 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 la, 9 to 5, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, massam, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like making black jokes. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is dancing and shit.
Yeah, or laughing to them.
Yeah, you know, hee-hawing. That doesn't help us anyway. You know, you might think that that's, you know, that's helping you get your check or whatever, but what the fuck is that helping our image as a people? What is that helping our image as high civilization trying to get back? That European go home at night knowing that he got niggas on plantations, knowing that you a fucking a broken, lost individual, that you don't got no balls, knowing that you not a threat. So you could talk crazy all you want. One day these crackers are just gonna come out and start calling niggas by their last name. Hey, Mr. McDonald, get your ass back, get off of the picket line and get back to work. Niggas is gonna go back to work. So we're talking about the proverbial Matrix. When Neo's was in the Matrix, the red dress and the other people that was part of the system, that if they saw him, they would turn into Agent Smith on your ass. You dig what I'm saying? Where they had to move in a certain way because the people that are in the Matrix are invested in the Matrix, and they will turn into Agent Smith on you because they are not down with what you think that they down with.
Facts.
And that's facts. That's facts.
So
and if anybody
Ebola,
take that personal, you know, that's just on you. But that's where we at in this shit.
So Ebola, like anything else, you just gotta hand it off to niggas and they gonna cross the goal line, right?
And run with it.
So people are sneezing on the train. It's niggas looking at them like, he got that Ebola. I don't see Europeans doing that shit. They're not really buying into the fear campaign quietly, maybe, but niggas is gonna make it a hysteria. You know what I'm saying? Niggas gonna make it blown up, and you know, they exasperate anything that you give to them. They're gonna make raps about it. They're already making internet memes about it. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, psychologically, whether it's necessarily true or not, there's still a psychological imprint that's being projected to your mind, and it's telling you that you are the wrong complexion for the injection of the correction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got the infection, you the wrong complexion for the injection of the correction. Everybody else, you get Ebola, you know what I'm saying? Somehow mysteriously they ain't got that shit no more. But if your ass is from Africa and you contract that shit, you just as guaranteed as dead. You feel me? So
more people die from flea bites a year.
Right.
From flea bites. More people die from flea bites and the common cold and shit like that, like influenza. You don't see people panicking about
100
that.
people die a day of heroin
overdoses.
There's nothing more challenging right now to this country than heroin at this particular. That shit is an epidemic. It's a crisis. But you don't see no news reports on it. You know what I'm saying? Right? They could shut a border down and stop dirty bombs from coming through and underwear bombers and shit, but you can't stop bundles of dope coming from a war zone. There's fucking poppy fields as if in Afghanistan, where they got 30,000 troops and shit like that. So we gotta be for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, America is just the catalyst for stupidity. This is the place where you drop Hollywood shit, and like we were saying on Brother Richard's tape, intertanglement starts taking place. The merger between art and, you know, fact and fiction. You know what I'm saying? Art and life. You know, where you just see something on TV and all of a sudden it's real because you're seeing it on TV. You just seen something on the news, but your logic mind doesn't kick in no more when you asking the right questions. Like, how you gonna declare a war on Ebola and send 4,000 troops? Do these niggas have they got the antidote, they got the vaccine, they got the serum? They don't even have hazmat suits and shit like that. They're militaries. Why you ain't send doctors? Why you ain't send medical beds? You know what I'm saying? But you send the military to fight a war for a disease that only exists within people. It ain't like the shit is in the trees or it's in the monkeys. You know what I'm saying? Or it's in the grass or the forest. It exists within people. So declaring war on Ebola is declaring war on the people. It's not even like the war on drugs, where you know what I mean? You get in the bundles and you get in the yay and you get in, you know what I mean? It's just like
going back.
So you gotta act like the non-critical questions are not being asked.
Going back to meeting that we had Tuesday of this week that just passed. We were invited to United Nations. Okay, we were invited to the United Nations and was able to sit in on a meeting. And after that meeting, we were privy enough to be taken on a tour. We were treated as emissaries, as dignitaries.
They took us on an exclusive tour.
And they took us on an exclusive tour around the United Nations. An African and a brother of Haitian descent, who basically had the key to the city. Like, he was able to walk into places that are restricted and whatnot. You know, and we could get into what we learned or what we were told at the UN and other things, but that's for a whole nother situation. What we did know, what we did walk away with, and what was told to us in plain English and in French, if we spoke that language, from the Nigerians, was the fact that they call Ebola Ebola. And they gave us the gas face, like, not falling for that one, are you? Like, dude, are you serious? Like, we don't, you know, that shit is imported. It's a weapon, you know what I mean? It's coming from America. We not dumb. We Nigerians. We very sharp. We boxed that shit off. We got that up out of here.
We've seen this before.
We've seen this before. Like, come on, get
like
out.
This old bowler. This is an old trick. They was like, our young boys gonna beat that up. You know what I'm saying?
They wasn't impressed with that.
They was like, that's unimpressive. They was like, the fact that y'all niggas are still falling for tricks like this really says a lot about you. What is crack cocaine but biological warfare? What was AIDS but biological warfare? We could go back to Tuskegee, that's biological warfare. What they did to the Indians was biological warfare. But then they like, oh, no way. You know what I'm saying? It's just impossible. They're not even entertaining the option. Even with the articles and all of the information out saying, yo, this shit was created by the Americans and the US owns the patent and the vaccine and everything else. You know what I mean? Do some research on Dr. Death. All right, he was a South African doctor during apartheid who was weaponizing Ebola and AIDS and all types of other shit for the U.S. government, for the CIA. All right, he just got convicted by the South African courts in December of last year. He was supposed to be sentenced in February, and they scrapped his sentence. They was like, yo, this shit is postponed. We'll get back to you on further notice or what have you. You know what I mean? So Dr. Death is who you look up. That'll lead you back just to show you the complicity of the United States government, all right, with other rogue governments in regards to how they cook up death. You know what I'm saying? How they cook up biological weapons and spread them shits as race-based annihilation mechanisms and agendas. So, you know, listen to what they're saying in regards to the Africans and them, the ones that are contracted this disease are the ones that have been, you know, taking the vaccine and what have you. You know what I mean? You got to look at that because that vaccine will be here, all right? And I don't know what the agenda necessarily here is. I don't know if the hysteria that we are being fed is going to fit into their political agenda, you know? But I do know if we saying the thought of things, I know that the hysteria that I'm witnessing in the streets of New York alone, you feel me, is something that's going to create a situation when flu season hits and people get coughs and mucus and shit like that. You know, there's going to be a higher level of suspicion. See something, say something. So now people are going to see people coughing, people, you know what I mean, with running noses and all sorts of different symptoms, and all of a sudden, yo, that's Ebola. They're going to start isolating and separating themselves from their fellow brother man. And now's the time when, even more division, when now's the time that we're supposed to actually be coming together. Let me also say something about biology. When we're dealing with a system of fear, the body can only do two things. The body can love and grow, or in fear, it drops its immune system and it's susceptible, yes, to all different diseases. So just based on what we saw in Ferguson, we know that the level of what should we say, of people being sick, you know what I'm saying? People being sick this coming winter is going to be a higher degree, because a lot of people fell into fear, a lot of people fell into stress based on seeing that boy lying in the street, based on seeing Eric Gardner. A lot more people were susceptible to a different level. Yeah, they was compromised, okay, based on that stress level. Based on the stress level that people are going to feel when they see this police walk, you know what I'm saying? They're going to have a different level of stress, so more people will get sick. But that don't necessarily mean that there's an epidemic, but they're going to try to tie that shit together. Why? To get people on that vaccine, to start segregating and separating people, right? And just playing these games, these foolish games over and over again. But what are we going to do, right? The conscious got to continue to be conscious. The awake got to continue to wake people up that are asleep. In terms of like remedies to fortify your immune system, we got Moringa in the building.
Talk about the vaccination.
Right? I already did. Okay. This is from the Moors Eastside Farm. These are some Moors in Jacksonville, Florida, to make this directly. All right. So we got the Moringa out here. I also have the monatomic silver. You know what I'm saying? I've been dealing with the monatomics, you know, specifically for situations that might arise like this. We've been on target. You know what I'm saying? We've been on the job. So soulgoldbiz.com, SOLEGOLDBIZ.com is where you can get your silver. They saying the silver knocks the shit out. I never had Ebola. I don't know, but I do know it's antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal. I do know that it does do an incredible job in terms of killing mucus and all other sorts of, you know, negative bacteria that we have in the body. So you might want to get some in your cabinet. You might want to get some oil of oregano. Yeah, you feel me? You just might want to fortify yourself against these particular things. So not only do you not have to be fearful, you know what I mean, but you don't got to be behind the 8-ball just in case they do lock shit down, and you are at a detriment because you can't get this or you can't get that, and you feel like, damn, I ain't got shit and I'm just scared as fuck. I'm gonna go down to Rite Aid and get these shots. You know what I mean? And I ain't got to tell you that we're gonna see a lot of that. I ain't got to tell you we're gonna see a lot of that. Feel me? And it's unfortunate. But money gotta be made. Either you hoeing or you pimping, you can't do both. You know what I mean? And that's where we at as society. You know what I mean? That they've mastered hoeing people. They just mastered hoeing people in the system. You know what I'm saying? And they found something new to put, you know, fear in the hearts of people and sell them something. Sell them a false reality. Packages, sell them a dream. So I'm just saying, remain very conscientious, ask the critical questions, you know, try as best to keep your mind clear, so when you do see these things, you can factor these questions in your mind. Watch what you eat, you know what I'm saying? Watch what you eat. Not more so, I'm not trying to give nobody a diet a lesson, but I'm just saying that mucus forming foods are something that you should be staying away from this particular season, because you don't want to be in a situation where you're attracting you know, all sorts of contaminated foods in your body, and you're getting a disease and you got to go to the hospital and they're giving you a shot, or you got to go to a clinic, or you know, your job is telling you got to go home, or your school is, you know what I mean, like, you just don't want to be in them situations. You want to up your immune system, so you got to do what's necessary to do that. All right,
strengthen your immune.
Peace.